Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for access support. Any kind of updates usually I go about on Twitter X. And later we will have a Midnight Suns episode. Just a reminder of Monday through Saturday, I will be doing publishing one episode per day until we wrap up with this series. Then I will eventually will get around to playing another game. I think I might be going for, how does it call, the latest one that was for free on Epic Game Store, Callisto Protocol. I think that's the one. I'll probably be trying that one out, but yeah, I will let everybody know when the time comes there. And again, just a reminder that I will also have some completed gameplay series if you are curious about any game that I might be already played. You have the playlists here on the main page of the channel. But yeah, let's go to the news. We got more interesting news regarding AMD. We'll assume this is again continuing with the interview that Czech, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Czech Ewin. I think he's a senior VP on AMD. I'm not. I think it has to do something with the graphics card stuff there. I think it's on the client side there. I think he's a senior VP there. I covered that yesterday, and he talked about a lot of their like strategizing the business side of things, and again appealing to mass production and to trying to capture more market share. And I think the fact that they will integrate RDNA architecture with CDNA architecture, which is part of the Instinct series AI kind of thing of the server side there, they are basically will be merging those two architectures and create the UDNA, so unified DNA thing there for the future. Again, this will not, I think, will not reflect not even on the RDNA or probably not even RDNA 5 also. I think it's something post RDNA from what I understand from the article here, given some of the quotes that he gave there to Tom's Hardware. I covered it yesterday. I don't think there is anything regarding that on the yesterday article, but maybe slipped my mind there when I covered yesterday. But yeah, uh, basically the fact that they're going to unify this, it will take a little bit of time to merge everything because again they want to do it to be retro compatible with previous RDNA stuff and other stuff that they already launched there. So it will take a little bit a couple of generations there to integrate everything properly. But I think it's more in line to try to compete with CUDA, given that developers for CUDA, the work that they do there, it's applicable to the RTX, so the gaming, the client side of the GPU side, and also for the server side with the Blackwell stuff there. And I think that's the intention on AMD side. So they don't basically make the developers to choose any kind of priorities where they want to develop regarding AMD stuff. But yeah, it's interesting that they are going forward with this, and they will eventually will also try to leverage the Rock M, I think it's called, platform, which is open source, and unifying everything with that, I think, will be a good competition with CUDA architecture or whatever it's called, but with CUDA. And I think we will have later the fact this will eventually, this unified architecture will be good because I think it will be able for them to use the chiplet stuff there better. I suppose, at least that's my perception on everything. They are basically trying to streamline everything, use trying to cater more to the mass market so they can gain a little bit more share market also, and then pick around and maybe do the chiplet stuff, this kind of the CCD stuff that you do already with the Ryzen 9, which have those two CCDs, which is basically chiplet technology, and basically put that in the GPU side of things. And I think unifying the RDNA and the CDNA, which are at this moment two completely different architectures, and the way they develop for that is completely different. I think it's going to be combining of efforts in that sense, in engineering, and probably reach a solution for that, and be able to develop for the client side, which it is gamers and the such, and also for the enterprise side, which is the AI accelerators and all that jazz there. I think it's going to be interesting, but it's not something, again, it's not something that we're going to see next year. Out of nowhere, they will come out with this implementation of this. Is something that will need to be transitioned throughout several generations, at least a couple of them. The E refers here, uh, basically UDNA 6 and 7. So I will assume that the last RDNA architecture thingy is going to be RDNA 5, because it's already on the pipeline there. They're already having RDNA, sorry, R&D efforts of just not finalizing, but reach almost a finalized product to start to do some testing on some prototypes, I assume. So it will take a little bit time. I think it's a medium term strategy implementation here, around 5 years or so. That's my expectation, given all the information that they're being having. Again, I'm not an engineer. This is my assumption of what I'm reading here. But yeah, it seems that in the next 5 years we will see a huge transformation, and hopefully they will be able to compete with Nvidia, and to a certain extent also with Intel, regarding this market share fight here, because again, competition is always good. It will make the companies do their best to capture market share, and with that they will introduce better products, and especially on the price to performance side of things, it will always be good for the final consumer, especially on the client side, which is gamers and DIY sector there. I think in the end it will always get us the best deal possible, because they are now competing for the same market. At the example, for example, RDNA 4, they are going to not launching the high-end GPUs. They will do the thing of trying to gain market share, so they will not compete on the high end for the moment, but they will eventually reach there through other means. But first, they want to put a foothold on the market share, so they can do things on scale, and then uh, try to compete more on the high end of things there. At least that's my perception. The overall strategy that AMD has to fight against NVIDIA and Intel. And people tend to forget, again, I will reinforce this, AMD, it's a smaller, way smaller company than Intel, and especially even more smaller compared with NVIDIA. And they are managing to go about and doing their own things to a certain point, and do give some products that compete with those companies there, which is always good to see. Hopefully they don't. I just hope they don't fall the same traps that Intel, and to a certain extent Nvidia. But yeah, hopefully they will force those companies to be more competitive, and be more light on their foot also. But yeah, regarding industry, basically this is, we got some gaming stuff here that basically Ubisoft is is going down the hole of the drain there. Stock prices, again, another drop of 7%. I think there is what's happening behind the scenes there. Not only the poor game launches from this year, starting from the beginning of the year of this year, we got the latest one, which is Star Wars Outlaw is a shit show of game. A lot of excuses being thrown out. They're now recognized they need to patch a lot of stuff on the game, especially on the game mechanics, which is interesting. Not only like visual stuff there, the visual bugs and the such. There was also in the earlier in the game, the pirate game that I completely forgot about the name there, which was supposedly the first quadruple A game that they were launching. Another shit show or a hellhole of a development cycle. It was delayed, I don't know, 12, 15 times, plus all the time that they had spent developing the game, and that game Nobody's playing that game basically. Also, and then we will have later this year Assassin's Creed Shadows, the black gay samurai thingy there, and all the drama and all the backlash that the game even before launch is doing on everybody's um, from the players, the supposed players that supposedly are going to buy that game. I don't know who managed to infuriate completely an entire country, basically, which is the Japanese people. The lack of respect for what they, at least from Ubisoft side, saying that it was historically accurate game. Again, I don't know why they start off with that left foot of a messaging there, but yeah, it's going to be a shit show, and it's going to be a very tough year for Ubisoft, especially on the side of the shareholders, because I think there is a lot of infighting. I think that this latest drop of 7% is on the 10-year lowest price there on the 10-year run. As you can see, it's not good. It's not good for them. Um, yeah, I think there is infighting there. There was a public, like an open letter kind of a thing there, of one of the, I think 1% shareholder, minority shareholder, that basically said or advised them to go private or use French minority law to collect enough shareholders to start a proxy fight and begin the sale process. Again, with this kind of instability, this doesn't fare well to the company itself. The investor also requested that the current management be replaced by a new CEO who will optimize the cost and studio structure for a more agile and competitive company, as Ubisoft should be. They're also throwing out that the company should be a company evaluated around 40 to 45 euros per share, which is uh, it's 30 euros below that for sure. Yeah, this is not going good. We got also X Defiant, which is not going good for them. Decreasing player. Uh, uh, they I don't know how what they're going to do with this post-launch support there by launching season 3. I think the latest from X Defiant was the pricing scheme, from what I understand. I don't cover too much multiplayer games, but I think the latest drama with this game was the launching scheme or the season pass or a battle pass. I don't know how you call that. I think they changed that the pricing scheme, and people were completely furious about that and just quit the game because again, the Ubisoft, what they are very well known to do is doing the same game and just squeeze uh, players' wallets there. But yeah, I don't think if things continue like this, I don't think Ubisoft will survive this year. I think they will. I think they will go private. Maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody will come up and just I don't know. I don't know how exactly this works, given that this is a French company. I don't know how European laws with this kind of things work. But yeah, there is some suggestion also to bring Tencent as a significant partner shareholder to progress the company. Again, I don't like that much. This Tencent is all over the place. It's like an octopus. It got tentacles all over the industry there, and being even though it's usually like 5 to 10% shareholds on a lot of companies, I don't think it's a good thing to have all the fingers in the pie there. Even though it's a very low minority stakes, people just talk about Tencent because they inject a lot of money when they invest when they buy the shareholders. They put a lot of money there, and I don't think this is a problem of money in the sense that they have money to develop games. Ubisoft, it's the mentality of how they go about making those games. So again, it's a matter of strategizing and using the money in a different way they are using at this moment in time to make games that cater to the market that there is available here, not the modern audiences and not the quadruple A game stuff that they are trying to make it seem that it is. But yeah, again, and with that, of course, there are going to be more, for sure, more layoffs. If they, if, of the change, of course, that it needs to happen on Ubisoft. There are going to be more layoffs. That's for sure. But yeah, it's basically the consequences of you trying to cater to modern audiences, and the fact that they were very explicit that they're going full on acronym mafia style there on their all of their IPs basically. Yeah, it doesn't bode well because you're catering for an audience that basically doesn't exist. And even if it exists, it's I don't know, smaller than 5% of the audience that that exists at this moment as gaming or customers. And usually that 5% or less of supposed customers, they don't like buying things. What they want is just they think they are entitled to get everything for free to a certain extent. But that's another rant for another day. Again, we'll see how this goes. I will assume we are in September. I think a month before the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we will get a little bit more updates regarding Ubisoft drama. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And while at it, again, FromSoftware is just hiring people. They have multiple projects simultaneously happening at this moment. Um, Hideaki Miyazaki, sorry, I completely butchered his name. Miyazaki just gave a few months ago that well, the way he goes about things is he plans ahead and plans in a certain way. They don't need after every launch of a game to lay off people because supposedly they are not needed. I think he got the thing figured out there on Front Software. And the fact that Tencent also acquired Kadakawa, which is the parent company of From Software, they acquired a percentage there. They got some injection of money, plus all the sales from Elden Ring DLC and the game itself, the base game. Uh, it gave a lot of money for them to sustain themselves and expand a little bit. I think they're, from what I understand, they're being careful of not to overexpand and do things more than they can bite more than they can chew to a certain degree. But they are going on multiple projects at this point in time. Even Armored Core, which is a very niche game for mecha games, sold pretty well, over 3 million units, which for the game that it is and the market that is trying to get to, I think it sold pretty well. And of course, 20 million plus copies of Elden Ring sold, plus I don't know how many DLC sales went through, at least 5 or 6, at least, if not mistaken. It sold pretty well. And again, we know that probably they are maybe in pre-production, maybe for a sequel for Elden Ring. I don't know. I think they might be working something similar to Sekiro or the roundabouts there. I don't know. I didn't play Sekiro, so I don't know if it is very suitable for a sequel. But yeah, they are working on several projects, which is good. Again, it will take a little bit time until we get more news from them on the next project, the most recent project they are going to launch. I will give it at least a year and a half to 2 years until they give us some news of what they're cooking there. But yeah, it's good to see that they are in a position they can hire people, and again, they are focusing on several new projects there. And then lastly, you got Baldur's Gate 3, the update 7, which brought more endings for the evil endings and cutscenes and the such. I think the most important thing is brought mod support there, and we're already seeing a lot of people using a lot of mods. Even though these mods they were available on Access Mod, but the fact that this patch did integrate. The mod.io site there with also with the mod tools that they have and a mod manager there on that site. I think because they did an official partnership, I think it's going to be more seamless to integrate everything on the mod side of things, even into consoles, which is something they are going to want to introduce there on the console side, because they want to do the same thing that there is on PC, to do the same thing on consoles, even though on consoles it will take a little bit longer to smooth that process out. But yeah, we already have at least around 5 million and a half downloads since the patch was launched. Again, this is the most popular ones, but it will take a few months until people start using the mod tools, the official mod tools, to fine tune or revamp the mods that we already have there, and integrate them with the mod tools. And then eventually everything will be introduced also in consoles. At least that's my expectation. But yeah, uh, today this is what I got in terms of news. We got some gaming deals here. We got mudrunner. It's kind of off-road kind of thing there. This is an older game, but it's pretty good. It's not a racing game. It's you got open areas and you do all the missions there, navigating through rough terrain and such. Again, very positive feedback here. And we got also art space shipbreaker. Sorry, it's kind of a simulation kind of a thing. You just go about and dismantle spaceships and make some money out of it. It's got a story mode, if not mistaken, and it's a pretty good one. We got also Atomic Heart, 60% off basically on every edition. We got also Atomic Heart and System Shock. I'm not sure. Maybe did I say System Shock here again? Atomic Heart is 60% off on all editions, and then we got System Shock Remake, 55% off. And if you're not sure if this game is for you, you have the demo here, which is always good to see. Then you got SnowRunner, which I should have been put it here next to the Mudrunner series. This is basically the sequel. They have several editions. I never know which one is the better one. I think the 3-year edition is the most complete one. If not mistaken, no, we got the 4-year edition. Sorry, missed this one. I think this is the more complete one. Again, it's still in development. The 4-year stuff, because this was launched like 3 years ago, give or take. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff here from this game. It's the same thing, but with more vehicles and more maps and the such there. Then we got finally Dave the Diver. It's around 30% off at this point in time. I think overall making positive reviews. Again, this game seems pretty good. Probably one of those that I will eventually try out. On GG, we got Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, 85% off. We got the same thing on the sequel, Mankind Divided Digital Deluxe Edition, which has all the DLC included here. Then we got Wolfenstein 2 pack, 80% off, and finally Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, 85% also. Again, this 2 pack, before I forget, got Old Blood and the New Order, so got basically the 3 mainline games from Wolfenstein reboot. I think are the better ones. But yeah, basically this is it for today, guys. Sorry if I'm being a little bit all over the place today. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up here with the plug on my Patreon. At this moment, for the extra support is for me to find out a better storage solution. So I have backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and also some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, Kunamy Master out.